Welcome everyone to our sixth annual Autonomous Vehicles in the City Conference.
Today we're excited to talk about innovation, entrepreneurship, and building the economically prosperous, sustainable, and just cities of the future.
The biggest question that keeps coming up is whether AVs will come in as a complement or a supplement to the current transit options available. And the early data from our rider trial actually came up that over 50% of these trips would replace things like rideshare for important tasks such as errands, work, or school, which is obviously very promising.
Hello everyone, my name is Alante Whitmore and I'm the director of the Autonomous Vehicle Initiative at SAFE. And SAFE is based in DC and we are a transportation policy research organization. And so as a director, I'm responsible for helping us continue to do policy research to create political will for federal policy framework for autonomous vehicles, but also helping to articulate all the social and economic benefits of the technology.
The sensors on the car could be LiDARs and cameras and radars, and then you need to have the AI software to observe what you see in the world. How can you bring what is in the world into, quote unquote, the memory of the computer?
What we do is then we amortize that cost over all of the deliveries we're doing, right? So maybe your delivery is increasing 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, because this is a shared vehicle. This is a vehicle that a lot of people will be utilizing for delivery, and that safety is so important that we're willing to spend the money up front to put that type of sensor on the vehicle and then increase the utilization to recover those costs.
We received funding from USDOT, MTC, and also our local Prop K funds to do this pilot.
As far as a more expansive deployment, there are a couple of things that need to be in place. Some things at the federal level, but I think something that cities are thinking about with pilots is helping to kind of create inventory of what needs to be in place.
We think about providing more public charging, and then we have private charging. Then you think about the weird, complicated dynamics that are playing out here in the city of San Francisco, in which you have ordinances that are sort of pushing out what that charging looks like into certain parts of San Francisco, putting more of a burden on other, substations that don't have the funding to be upgraded. You think about all of these different pieces. So really taking a holistic look at what infrastructure looks like, urban planning looks like, and thinking about how to move that forward.
Hi, I'm Timo Schalk. I'm with BMW. I'm the BMW Group representative here in the United States on the West Coast.
There are so much you can do with that data that is beneficial for everybody. And then for the other data from a regulation point of view, I think there are certain things that it's easier to get it from the car, but it's also externally observable data. You can externally observe certain, like speeding, for example. Like you can, if you had radars everywhere, you could potentially observe that without tapping into the car. So tapping into the car is just a shortcut to get that data.
20% of those rides were for non-recreational, non-social purposes. So it was actually filling a different concept of not just being late night rides. So autonomous vehicles, we don't drive drunk, we're not distracted. We really we follow the rules of the road, but it is also serving a functionality in day-to-day lives of these students that are really augmenting and improving their lives as well. But not to discount the opportunity that we're also learning about, where connectivity to transit is like 90% necessary from the study, or we think about how accessibility is so important. So with regards to sustainability, Cruise really feels like it's one of being able to be in a position of leadership and thought leadership.
My name is Sahas. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a startup called Smart Car. We've been around for about 5 or 6 years, and we really got started when maybe about 5-6 years ago, when we were actually trying to build an app, my co-founder and I, for a car. And we found that was actually really hard to do. So when it comes to trying to innovate or build an application that integrates with the car you own, or an application you want to build for someone else to use, that was incredibly challenging. So we realized that the big opportunity, or the gap in the market, was the fact that there isn't a way to build apps for cars, and there wasn't a common developer platform that folks could go integrate with to build an app once and have it work everywhere. So we went out and started a company called Smart Car.
The thing that we see in a lot of U.S. cities that we've been unable to make the decision with land use and housing that actually enables the transportation infrastructure we want to see. So I love that you mentioned that, and that it's cool that Cruise has staff that are thinking about this, and I know the city has staff that are thinking about this, but it really is, it's important for us as citizens and voters and to really emphasize this idea and to emphasize that, you know, our own choices and the way we kind of live our lives, but also who we elect that make these decisions about how we're going to use our urban spaces is really important.